Good morning, testing 1 2 3. Audio is good. Everything looks okay. It's 10:35 a.m. UK time. Good morning, crypto. Right. Let's have a look at a few things. Going to have a look at this relief rally that we're experiencing or not. I'm going to look at the SLERF for Solana pump from yesterday, and I'm going to just keep on updating with ETH BTC just to kind of keep a track of it so we can kind of pinpoint future alt season 2.0, 3.0, call it what you want, which isn't coming or hasn't come, but maybe it will in the future. Let's see if anyone joins us. If not, that's fine. You can catch up. If you don't want to catch up, then don't. Got a different hat today. Red hat. No blue hat. All right. Let's just have a look at yesterday's pumpy. Let's get rid of these lines. Let's have a look at the monthly time frame candles first. I'm just going to have a look at the monthly time frame across a bunch of tokens. So my phone is buzzing, so let's just see where we are at the month. So there's no two ways about it. Bitcoin is fucked. Fucked. It's mega fucked. It's uber fucked. Fuckity fucked. Fucked. There's no way, there's no two ways about it. You can't look at that and go, wow, this is bullish. It's a bullish chart. There's just no way to look at that. Can we see a bear trap here? It's possible. Okay, everything's possible. Crypto, everything's possible. Honestly, if we want to experience a bear trap here, like a genuine bear trap, then Bitcoin has to close bullish engulfing by the end of the month. It's really that simple, because you have a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly time frame. So if you see a bearish engulfing, that's bearish, extremely bearish. And so what you would expect for a bull trap, bear trap, is a bullish engulfing, like immediately straight into it. But if you see a bullish engulfing next month, then that's a fully fledged bear trap, and it's a long, it's a mega long. So it'd be really bullish for that to happen. It wouldn't be bearish, it'd be bullish. Okay, so if you see a bearish engulfing followed by a bullish engulfing, that's a bear trap. Okay, and we haven't seen that in the highs, have we? We haven't seen that on these monthly time frame candles at all, have we? We haven't really seen that. Let me go to the index and have a look. just in case I'm missing something. I have to look at all of the data. I can actually experience that. You haven't actually experienced a bearish engulfing followed by a bullish engulfing. So it's never happened on Bitcoin on the monthly time frame. So the chances of that happening are likely zero, likely none. But you know, nothing's impossible in crypto. So it's food for thought. But that's a really bearish candle. It's just ultra bearish. You just can't. It can't ignore the bearishness of that candle. You don't sell the bottom of a red candle, but this is a sell candle. So as the price rallies, it's a sell. You know, it's not a buy, it's a sell. There's no way to kind of hide that, ignore that. Ethereum is a bearish continuation with a clean break of this trend line, so this looks fucked too, huh? The whole thing looks fucked. Now, doesn't mean that we don't find support, you know, doesn't mean this is going down, but it's not bullish, is it? And so obviously in this context, for this to become bullish, you're probably looking for some higher time frame structure to form that will turn this around. I don't think it's going to be straightforward. You kind of need something structurally like that. You know, you kind of need a new trend line, some kind of new trend line to form with higher lows of sorts, probably. Now everything's possible in crypto. There's no way to kind of like know what's going to happen in the future. So I'm not saying this is going to go to zero, but the whole thing looks shit. Looks really shit. This isn't all the data on Ethereum either, so maybe it'd be better if I got a more complete chart. I should have one in my list, but short of not having one, I can just go to ETH USD and look at the index on Binance. Get rid of all of this. So look at those channels. Okay, oh, that's interesting. All right, I'll keep that. Get rid of that. It's interesting. We are coming into some kind of interesting area on ETH. The problem with ETH is it's come down quite hard. It's come down quite strong. But you know, this is a little bit more promising, because if you can kind of hold, then you could go up. It's possible, yeah. Or it's also possible to just kind of lose this channel low. And it's quite interesting when you look at ETH, look at that red channel, you see how it came, you lost it, it went flat, came up just to back test that red channel and then dropped. See that? So not looking promising, is it? Not looking promising. It's just no two ways to, you can't just look at it and go, oh yeah, it's bull season, ETH, alt season, everything's going to the moon. Just can't do that. It's just ridiculous. Look, this is quite good. You have a really nice point of control here on ETH at around 1800 or so. Let's take a wider range sample, and then you've got this value area right here. But I kind of like that point of control in the first instance. I have to look at that on the other chart. And in terms of channels and trend lines, have a look. Nope. Nope. Can't see anything interesting. Let's have a look at some fib extensions. These are quite relevant, huh? These fib extensions. This is 1.618. See how it came to the 1.618. Now it's coming back down, potentially to the 1.414, which was acting as an SR flip. You see that? Here, here, here. Why not here? Maybe that's going to be our support level, huh? Maybe that's going to be our big support for a back test of this all-time high here, for another back test. So we haven't had a meaningful back test. We had this kind of push up, down, a little back test there. This is another pump. Maybe we actually go down for a, maybe that's where we bottom out. For a back test there at about $1,600. That would work, huh? I think that would work. So what you're kind of looking at now, potentially, I like equal triangles. I'm not crazy about these lopsided ones. Just trying to see if I can make anything line up. Can't really. The best one is just that horizontal one, that 1.414 level for an SR, for a big SR flip. Don't really have any kind of meaningful confluence there, to be honest with you. But slightly underneath the point of control. Point of control is about 1800. The SR flip is about 1600. So you have a really nice buy zone, I'd say, here. And then whatever happens, you need to get back up to go up. You know, you can't just fall underneath the point of control and hope it's going to go up. You need to kind of, the price needs to go back up. Anything else? Anything else? Let's have a look. Yeah, so we've come to land at the 1-to-1 there. top. Let's pivot. The 1-to-1 on actually on this ETH move is the beginning of May. Type thing. But I mean, there is a higher time frame bullish harmonic here potentially. Let's have a look at this. These fib retracements here. This one. 1.418. I mean, it kind of corresponds with the golden pocket area here, depending on which pivot you take. About 1600 really is your level for a golden pocket retrace with the 141 back test of this fib extension, which is also a major SR flip and the previous all-time high here. That's really kind of a buy further down it. Now you lose the golden the point of control, but you've got some quite nice high volume here as well. So it's a high volume node as well. And then you do potentially have like a higher time frame bullish harmonic here as well. Something like that. Something like that. Based off that pivot, based on time. Mid-April, huh? So the buy zone is here really. It's about 1600. Gets really bearish, but actually that's the buy zone. Mid-April. Based on, I'm not saying it's going there. Just, you know, it's just the 1-to-1 here would be towards the end of April. So somewhere between mid to the end of April, all the way down to 1600 is really the right place, the right time for buying. And then it would be really bearish. People would be thinking, shit, ETH is cooked, ETH is fucked. But actually that's the right place. You lose the point of control, reaction, get back above the point of control, and then you kind of want to react, a strong reaction, and then you just kind of want to rally. You just want to just pump type thing. It's kind of where I'm at right now with ETH. And then obviously, let me bring this down to this area here so I can keep an eye on it. When you're looking at ETH BTC, I keep on talking about ETH BTC. Now, on a monthly time scale, it's bearish as fuck, isn't it? It's just kind of like a really bearish candle. You can't, this is not a reversal candle as of such, and it doesn't mean you can't reverse over a course of a few months here. Yeah, so even though this in itself is not a let's bring this back because I don't look at this. Doesn't mean you can't reverse, but you kind of need some structure to form here. You need a green, a red, green, you know, you need something structural to form on the back of this really bearish candle. So this in itself isn't a buy in a sense, but if you get some structure here over the next 1 or 2 months, then you could possibly get out of it here. Yeah, otherwise you're going lower and it's cooked. Yeah, the whole thing is shit. Yeah, I think it'd be nice to bottom here, and the reason why is because we are coming into some equal lows here, and this is a deviation, so it'd be nice to bottom out here, but it doesn't mean that ETH isn't going lower. It doesn't mean that at all. We'll have to see what happens. And obviously the weekly is, again, it's a bearish engulfing. I don't really see us closing back above any of these kind of previous week lows. So again, it's disastrous for ETH. Disastrous. And that's not only disastrous for ETH, disastrous for alt season too, because you can't really have an alt season without ETH BTC being strong. Now in a local context, I do think ETH BTC is coming to an interesting level for a really nice relief rally. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on now, our potential relief rally. From this pivot low to this pivot high, you're coming down to the golden pocket. We've lost the kind of the volume range here, but we are coming into the golden pocket. So you would expect this to be a good area for ETH BTC to start to flatten out here and reverse, but find support. When ETH BTC finds support, that generally means that BTC will probably start going up or isn't looking to go down. So we're kind of selling off now here, and we have to see a little bit of strength here, maybe this week, and then we can maybe kind of have another retrace back up either to the point of control or to another kind of potentially for another golden pocket type move for a lower high and then continuation or something like that. So I'm kind of got my eyes on this now to see what's happening. I can see, like, while ETH BTC is going down here, there's no, for me when it comes to altcoins, there's no trade, there's no meaningful trades. I'm just looking at this and I'm going, can't really trade that to long. I mean, and then coming back to Bitcoin, well, I talked about the CME gap on Discord before it hit, and again, it's all speculation, isn't it? It's all speculative. It's all, who knows? No one really knows. I kind of posted the CME gap here. Can't see it, but it's there. Price probably dropped to 81. It probably went lower. It always goes lower than you think to fill the CME gap, and then a lower high around 90k, and then it's over. That's kind of where I'm still at. I'm not really there's no real changes from what I'm thinking. And so we went all the way down much lower, but we filled the gap. Bullish reaction. Nice. We've actually, interestingly enough, we kind of put in a low. This is the 1 hour time frame. Lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So we are in a bit of bullish 1 hour market structure here. If BTC takes that low, then that's, again, it's going back down probably. And as you can see now, the kind of the rally's stopped, the pump has ended. There is 5 waves in this pump, and that's quite interesting. So I like that there were 5 waves in this pump, or it looks like there's potentially 5. Maybe there's another wave to come. Let me have a look at this. There are 5 waves. I don't think this is the bottom, but we might get a nice relief rally which has 5 waves. If that's your 1, A, B, C, 2 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, A, B, C. A, B, C, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. Don't really see another. Don't really see a 5 there. It's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See that? So you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was your final push. So you have a nice kind of like a 5 wave move there from this pivot low. And if I kind of pull some fibs, look, it went, the top of that 3 went to the 1.618. Very nice. And that went almost to the 618 there. See that? 618. So we've got some nice kind of ratios being formed here. Probably if I kind of add the 2.618. We missed it, huh? Missed it. So not as strong as it could have been, but that there is a 5 wave move there, huh? There's a first, that's your first Elliott wave 5 wave move. Invalidation of this move is the low here. Okay. And now we're seeing some kind of ABC corrective, aren't we? This is an ABC corrective. Where could this come? Well, look, with ABC correctives, you can get ABC, ABC, ABC to form a WZY, XY, WXY. Or you just have a straightforward ABC type move. So right now, this is the A, B, we're in the C. One-to-one will bring us down to 83.5. That's your 1-to-1 of this corrective move. Let's just kind of mess about with fib time here as well to see potentially when this is over. Well, look, we have to see what happens, but I think if you combine that with volume, I'm coming to the point of control now. But we've already had a bounce, weak bounce, so we'll probably lose it. Then people will sell. Let's have a look at the anchored VWAP here. I mean, look, if you get an ABC down to here, hit that anchored VWAP, it might overshoot, or it might, by the time it gets there, this could be much higher. But I think that's probably a good place for the price to find support. Now the question is, do you get an impulse? So after you get an ABC correction, the next thing is going to be the next wave, impulsive, in the next 5 wave. If we're going to continue this impulsive move, if it wants to impulse. Since it's the weekend, if the volume is low and the sentiment is dry, we could end up here with another ABC corrective for another kind of real kind of corrective move here. Correction all the way down to the value area low, 82 or so. Or maybe slightly higher, I don't know exactly where, but good to track this out to see how this forms. So I think possibly in terms of a bounce, I've got the 1-to-1 here at 83.5, just above. That'll be the 1-to-1 of this ABC. Then it could just grind up. Let's just say hypothetically we were able to get back to the point of control in that move. It might feel impulsive, but it might just still be corrective. And 82. So I don't know, we have to see, because you could quite easy on this ABC corrective move into your next impulsive move. Yeah. So I think we are about, this is a little bit of a relief rally. To see how this plays out. It's not clear. See, corrective. Mark that down. I guess if you take the expand the volume, there's no real kind of major, maybe there 82.5, maybe 82.5, maybe equal lows here if the price comes down to there. Then you still want to see an explosive impulsive move. They really have to see that, otherwise it's just gonna, then this is just some kind of corrective relief, and then we're actually looking to go down much further. So I mean, just looking at the kind of weekly time frame, obviously we've got the weekly time frame candle closing tomorrow, so if it drops and then comes up, or we have, that's quite important. The 3 days already closed, it's gone down, and we're coming kind of trying to get back up. yeah, yesterday's daily candles, it is actually a really bullish candle, yeah, because you had quite high volume. The price has swung the lows here. It's closed bearish, but that I consider that to be quite bullish in this context, just simply because the bears were in control and then they failed to take the price down. Actually, it closed back into the previous candle, the previous day range, and so possibly somewhere about 82.5, like equal lows here, could be a good place for the price to find support. I don't know. Let's see how this day closes. I mean, it looks bullish now on the daily, but I mean, the daily hasn't ended, and actually, because we've kind of swung the highs there, lower highs, it's actually starting to look a little bit more bearish, isn't it? So if you end up with another bearish candle here, close, maybe that's your buy. Maybe that's your buy to take it up at the end of today. But right now we've seen a 5-wave move. That's over. Now we're seeing a corrective move. And it's clearly a zigzag. And so we just have to see how this plays out. So the 1-to-1 on this move is about 83,600. Let me have a look at so I'm not seeing any kind of meaningful bullish divergences here, to be honest with you. And there is very bearish, strong bearish divergence at the highs here. You can see the CVD went much higher and there was big selling into that. So we're seeing bearish divergence. We're not seeing bullish divergences here. I think I'd like to see some bullish divergence in my area of interest. I think that will give me the confidence to long rather than just hope for the bottom or hope for the correction. So the area of interest initially 83,600. If this is an ABC corrective, then that will, if that's not impulsive, which it may not be, then it'll be another ABC corrective taking us back up to the point of control, and then we'll get another kind of ABC corrective down to about 8200, sorry, 1000, 82,000, 83,600. Yeah, it's kind of where we're at right now. So we are in a kind of potentially a relief rally stage, just simply because we've had this first impulsive move, clear invalidation of the lows. With these kind of corrective moves, it could be more bearish. This corrective ABC could be weak. You could end up with an extremely weak correction here, and then actually you're looking to come all the way down to fill these gaps and just come all the way back down to probably somewhere around here. So we'd have to see how this mid part plays out. Is it going to be impulsive because we've had this ABC? It could be, but I think you'd want to see some bullish divergence at least after the first impulse. So you'd want to see an impulse like that type thing. Then we can actually impulse. I'm not confident. I'm not confident about this. And actually my target overall, like, I mean, this could make sense to me here. This makes a little bit more sense. Somewhere down to 82. If you do end up with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then ultimately my target is going to be somewhere around, let's have a look. I think 90k area, just this range high. So if you do get an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, for another corrective, for maybe a last wave, take the highs, and then we're back to down. We're back to taking this out, and we're back to falling now. So there is a little bit of a relief rally here. It's not crazy. It's not a mental relief rally. It's not like something that you can write home about. I think it's coming back up to about 90, and it always goes, sometimes it always goes more than you think. So I'm not like saying this is where it's going to end, but I've got this kind of range low, kind of 236 here. Why not go up to find the resistance maybe a couple of times and then drop, get everyone really bullish. You've completed your 5-wave move, and then hold on a second. So it's all food for thought. I'm not sure about the timings, but possibly, I think probably when we view impulse, I don't know. I mean, Mondays have generally been sell-off days, so it depends on where the price is at here on Monday morning after the weekly close. So I'm not 100% about the timings. So it's just something to think about. And then obviously, if you look and watch my video from yesterday, it was a very important video which I made. You asked why do I think down still? Maybe. Well, I think down because the momentum is strong to the downside. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter what the market, what people are saying. They're saying, oh my god, alt season, high volume, this is the bottom, dollar cost average, fear at 10, buy. But the charts are telling me something somewhat differently. You've got this strong downward momentum now formed, and the midpoint of this Bollinger Band is now facing downwards on pretty much every time. It's the lower ones have gone flat a little bit, maybe even slightly up, but these kind of slightly higher ones, they're down. You see that this daily moving 20 moving average, this 12-hour 20 moving average midpoint is down. The 3-day is about to turn. So we've got this kind of these higher time frame midpoints that are now trending down, and that's why I'm thinking down. I'm not thinking up, because it would really require a significant strength to turn this around. We'll see that, but until that happens, the charts are pointing down, they're not pointing up. You've got this weekly 20 moving average, this 20 midpoint on the weekly time frame, which is pointing up, but we've smashed through it like a hot knife through butter. So it's gone, huh? It's finished. It's not just washed, it's like destroyed. It's annihilated. It's been annihilated. So sentiment is at the lowest right now. Yeah, people are looking at what happened yesterday with Trump and Zelensky, and they're thinking the worst. And when you think the worst, you sell. You don't buy. You're not positive, you're negative. You buy, you sell. This is probably the last opportunity people will have to exit their positions, or to short, actually, to start shorting or covering their positions. I think a safe place, if we get that opportunity, a safe place to do it will be at this trending midpoint in this 12-hour time frame. You can go to every time frame really. The 8-hour, look, somewhere around there. The 8-hour midpoint or the 12-hour midpoint, they're trending down now. So that's just going to be, when I say safe, nothing is ever safe, but because these trends will take time to turn, and now that we're trending down, then this could actually start trending down. It could really start trending down. Yeah. And while people are expecting some kind of bull market, that's why my video from yesterday was really important, because I talk about the possible way that Bitcoin can bottom in this area. So just to kind of recap, just so you don't have to watch it again if you haven't seen it, I'm going to go to the index chart here. Right. And I've basically been talking about this for a long time, actually. A long time. I said this 5-wave move was over. I said we're seeing a Wyckoff distribution. I couldn't pinpoint it, but actually this is a Wyckoff distribution. And for Elliott waves to be valid, we really need to find support at around 68k. I don't want a weekly close underneath 68k, 69k. But in terms of the price, I think the price could wick down to about 64, 65 without closing underneath around 69. 69 is key because it's the previous bull market all-time high. So effectively, we need Bitcoin to bottom above the previous bull market all-time high. That's a condition. Not this market's previous all-time high. I don't care about that so much. Yeah. I think the previous bull market all-time high is crucial. If Bitcoin has the ability to bottom above the previous bull market all-time high, then we have a chance to have a last mega wave to about 230k this year. That's a condition. And the reason why that's a condition is because of Elliott waves. I've got this green Elliott wave move. It's 1, 2, 3. 3 is complete now because we've completed it. And so we have a 4 and a 5 potentially on the cards. A 4 and a 5. 4 is corrective. Typically in Bitcoin corrections, these corrections aren't so long. They've been quite short relative to the bull move. But this last bull move is going to be a short one. It's not going to be a long one. It's going to be a really impulsive, crazy move. This last one's going to be a mega move. So, and the reason why is because it's the 5. It's the end. It's the 5. The wave 5 of the end of the 3. Okay. The conditions for this to be valid are that we have to hold the previous bull market all-time high as support on a higher time frame. Yeah. And in my imagination, it has to be the weekly time frame. I don't want to see a weekly close, and I've kind of marked it out here. I don't want to see a weekly close underneath the weekly close and open and close of the previous bull market. I don't care about the wicks. I care about the closes. So if you can wick down all the way down to wherever, but I just don't want us to see the weekly time frame to close underneath around 65.5. If we can hold here, as support, and the price shows us that, then we have a chance to impulse. And if we impulse, we're going to impulse. And then if we do get back into this range, that will be a massive sign of strength. And if you can get back into that range, you're going up. You're going up like there's no tomorrow. Bam, bam, bam. It'll be bullish. It'll be bullish as fuck. It will be really explosive. Okay. And that will be the end of crypto bull. So we have a condition here. If we can't hold this area of support on a slightly higher time frame, i.e. the weekly, then after this previous bull market move, that wave 1, this whole thing becomes a corrective move, and you're actually just looking for an equal correction type situation coming all the way back down to much lower, much lower. Okay, for a much more prolonged corrective move. Okay, now no one can predict what can happen, no one knows, but the conditions for this wave to be the wave 3 excuse me, and is that we hold the previous bull market for another wave. Otherwise we're in some kind of higher time frame WXY. It means that we haven't actually started going up, we're still in a higher time frame wave 3. That whole thing was a correction, and the next wave is going to be mega. Especially, I mean, if Bitcoin was to go down to 30k, then the next wave would be mega, wouldn't it? It'd be a mega wave. But only after we see this. So initially I'm just looking for about 65k, the previous 68, the kind of the previous bull market all-time high top of the support. My timings are on April, end of April. My timings are end of April. So if I see the price of Bitcoin is being held here by the end of April, mid to end of April, then I'm going to be thinking that the next move is going to be up, and it's going to be an impulsive move up to 230k, right? But if I see that the price is dropping and you're not finding support here, then I'm going to be thinking that this whole thing was a corrective move, and then we're looking for this to just be balance out like this. And then in terms of kind of Bitcoin and safe places to enter, I think a lot of people aren't 100% sure about when to enter, how to enter, etc. Well, I think the easiest way is to just draw this kind of outer trend line of these outer pivots here, and just wait for that trend line to break. I'm kind of looking for a break. The lower we go down, the easier it will be to break, but the further it will be down in terms of time. If I'm expecting a break by the end of April, and if I think that the price here could hold 60, and the price is going down, potentially going down to here, you'd see an impulsive move up, let's just say it goes up first and then comes down, and let's say we bottom out here, then you impulse up, you may get an initial rejection, just to find support on the structure that you've created for a break. Back in the range. For another move, all-time high. Flat correction above the previous all-time high for the mega impulse type thing. So something like that. Kind of like, that's how I'm imagining it. So whatever happens, this outer line has to break. We don't really know what's going to happen here. So because we don't know, this is a bullish situation. The bullish scenario has to hold the previous all-time high here in the previous bull market. That's why I'm saying this is kind of where it would have to be something like this. You'd have to see this happen. You'd have to have some structure form. You'd have to see that the price is finding support. Then you'd see a break, the first impulsive move. You'd still probably, after you don't really break these trend lines from impulsive moves, but if you do kind of sell off and then come back down, find support, then it's a bit lower down, so you could break it lower down. You kind of want to break. If you get a break, then you can buy that break, probably. That's kind of what you're looking for. but maybe not on the not after a first impulse. You kind of want to buy it the second time, because I do imagine whatever happens next, the next time we hit that trend line, it will get a sell. If it happens in March, that will be a really good opportunity to sell. But if it happens in March, you're probably going a bit higher than 90k. Yeah, you'd probably be start to feel really bullish. But I think that trend line's a sell line until it breaks. And then actually the safest place to enter will be after a break of that outer trend line. And then you don't have to mess about with the shenanigans of what's happening here, hoping for the moon, because the reality is that we don't have to hold here as support. You could get this and this. You know, shit happens, and you know, go all the way down. And that's why you wait for the break. So if you're looking for a safe place to enter, just wait for the break. Safe, just wait, just be patient. Just the price of, and the reason why I say that is because the price of Bitcoin isn't going up without breaking that line. It's just not. It's just, look, it's impossible. How can Bitcoin go to the moon without crossing that line? That line is important. It has to cross it. So until it crosses it, it's going down, isn't it? It's just a fact. And the lower we go, the longer it takes, the lower the price of Bitcoin required to break that line. And the crazy thing is, for reasons that I can't explain, and if we are looking at some kind of crazy corrective move, and let me just kind of visualize the correction. I don't know, this is all speculative. The 1-to-1 in this crazy move to the downside would be around 24k. So that's your break. That's why you wait for the break, because we don't know when it's going to break. And if the price just keeps on trending down all year, Bitcoin at 24k, and then it breaks, well, that's your entry, isn't it? That's your clean entry. You just don't know when it's going to happen. No one knows. And naturally, like I said, if we lose the previous bull market all-time high, then we're going down. We're going down much further, I think, much further. It won't be a straight line down, but it will be a trend. It will be trending down. And how will that impact our altcoins? Well, this is the idea. We don't know when ETH BTC is going to bottom out, but it has to bottom out. That's when we'll know. And because we've lost the point of control, we haven't had a meaningful backtest, so it's hard to imagine that we just kind of go down. I don't think so. Just because the price was here for a while, why would the price now just ignore that area? I think ETH BTC is probably going to be here for a while too, probably the same while in terms of months, if it wants to go down to lows. It doesn't really make any sense for it to just go down. Could, but I think ideally I think this should bottom here, somewhere here. But if it doesn't, if you get like a little bit of this and then down, then you're actually bottoming here. And the reality, this is a monthly time frame. the bottoms take months, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months on the BTC to bottom here. The only time that it didn't do that was here. It was a V-shaped recovery, but that's because we were trending up. Whereas now we're trending down. So when you're trending down, it's not going to be a straight, easy bottom. The only way that I think we could bottom here, typically more easily than not, would be to just be here. Let's be stuck here for a couple of months. Like that. But you have to get back above the point of control. And then flip it into support. It still looks like it's trending down there. That's the problem. So it's not going to look strong enough unless we can form some meaningful structure here before it goes up like that type thing. Similar to kind of the way it bottomed here, before it trends up, before it turns the trend. So that's kind of my update of all of that. Looking at SLERF and Solana. So Solana had a really nice pump yesterday. I kind of mentioned it in my stream. What I've noticed with Solana and SLERF is that after Bitcoin dumps, capitulates, crashes, then Solana or SLERF are of the token of choice, because they over pump. So for one day, like literally one day after Bitcoin bottoms, then you have a really good kind of trade. You kind of, they're probably the two best tokens to trade. You see how they both pumped. They mega pumped, Solana and SLERF. You see that? What's interesting about Solana and SLERF, both of them, is that on the 4-hour time frame, Solana has actually put in a higher high. That's the lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. That's your high 4-hour time frame. That's really nice. Generally speaking, with a 4-hour time frame, higher high, that's the pivot low. You'll be looking for the higher low. That's going to be your entry. Higher low, higher high, and you're in confirmed bullish market trade. Now, it doesn't have to go and put in a higher high after you put in a higher low. You could also put in a higher low and get a lower high here like that. It's possible. But typically traders will be looking for a higher low now on Solana and on SLERF. And the same thing. So that's kind of what I'm looking for as well. Kind of looking for these two to come into support. In my imagination, I have the golden pocket here on SLERF at the value area low. That would be perfect. Perfect. And when you're looking at Solana, exactly the same. So you've got Solana and SLERF kind of mimicking each other. Value area low, golden pocket. That's a really good entry. Fill that gap, fill that candle, 4-hour time frame. And maybe we can, if we could put in a higher high, that would be a market structure change confirmed. So Solana suddenly becomes bullish on the medium time frame. If you can't, then the trade, I mean, basically it's just taking it back up from here to the range high type thing. Yeah, you have to see how Bitcoin fares, where Bitcoin is landing. So right now I've got kind of, I'm looking for the pullback here. I'm looking for this to come down into my buy zone. I'm gonna let here. Solana buy. Let me just accurately do this. So maybe taking out that, maybe just back testing that pivot for an equal low. Potentially. And you're basically looking for like a simple trade, take it back to the value area high, that would be nice, because just on that simple trade, if it finds support here somewhere, you're kind of going back up to the golden pocket, value area high. But if you pump, because again with Solana, the same as Bitcoin, there's 5 waves here. If you get another impulsive wave here, then you could get a nice 5-wave move. Change market structure to bullish in the 4-hour time frame. That would be nice. A little bit bullish market structure probably coming up to this kind of SR flip type area here. Probably it's kind of what I'm looking at now. Then you could get the last move like that, and then similar with Bitcoin coming into resistance if Bitcoin goes up to like 90k, something like that. So that's what I'm looking for now, like a higher low here in this value area low, golden pocket area. It's really kind of a good place. SLERF is saying the same thing, so I'd like to see SLERF come to the same place at the same time. And then also I would like to see how this Bitcoin correction fares. So I'm still kind of like, we're having a little bounce off the 618 here. I'd like to see this come down to the 1-to-1 here at 83,627. And then if you get an impulsive move, that would be great. If you don't get an impulsive move, then it's just corrective. And then we're probably looking for much lower here. I'd like to see Solana and Bitcoin come to my area of interest at the same time. That would give me confidence. So for Solana, I think I've kind of showed you the right place. It's kind of down here. That's the trade. I'd like to see Bitcoin and Solana come to the same place at the same time, type thing. All right, so that's kind of my stream for today. I hope that helps. If you're watching this after I've streamed it, then just give me a like. That would be appreciated. And then I'll see you tomorrow for another update of the charts. All right, there's money to be made if you just wait for the right places, the right time, type thing. I'm gonna post this in my Discord maybe. This could always overshoot. So, but I like these equal lows here, so maybe we'll have to see. We'll have to see how strong this move is. So that's why I think maybe it goes up to the value area high, just from the range low, range high. And you could get a situation where you're actually doing an ABC like that. You know, it's always possible. That's why you have to take profit. All right, hope you have a good day and a happy weekend. Let me have a look at the BTC order flow. Yeah, I'm not seeing any bullish divergences here, to be honest with you. You see mega bearish divergence here, no bullish divergence. So we're back into daily open for a little bounce, but maybe we're going to get a little bit of a pump tomorrow or at the end of tonight. This is just coming down for liquidity. All right, have a good evening, have a good day, have a good weekend, and see you tomorrow.